Okay then, Val, let's move on a step and go to the pedestrian crossings and use of signals. As you've probably noticed, the last couple of exercises or subjects that we've done have been broken into 2 separate or 3 separate sections.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a follow-on.
Right.
You would treat this in a similar way to your emergency stop and use of mirrors, where you're not going to give me a full brief on signals.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But where would you give the briefing for the use of pedestrian crossings?
Well, would you drive to the area again?
No. On this occasion you do it here.
Oh, right.
Right, before you set off. Because we could have a Pelican crossing just around the corner.
Right.
And you wouldn't just sort of pull up and then give a briefing.
Mm.
So where it's similar to an emergency stop stroke mirrors, yeah, where you do the Q&A and then drive to the area because it's split in 2. This is where you do the Q&A for the signals, but then you give the brief here.
Right, so one leads on to the other sort of thing. Yeah.
There isn't a set. You don't have to do Q&A on mirrors and then signals and then pedestrian crossings. Or you don't have to do pedestrian crossings first and then signals. You can do it whichever way you want.
Oh, right.
There isn't a set. You must do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I believe you've done the pedestrian crossing homework because you actually rang me up and had a chat to me about it.
Yeah, I did have a look at that one. Yeah.
So you should be fairly well prepared on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So have you got any more questions before we actually start the lesson?
I don't think so. Would it be like the mirrors where you got to listen in case he did want you to give a brief?
Yeah,
or
because
not? Do the same thing.
No, they won't want you to do a brief, but it may say to you signals by indicator and arm.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to go through reversing lights, brakes, hazard warning lights.
Because that should have been dealt with before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yes. So they've had a
So
brief
by
on signals.
indicator and arm.
Right.
Yeah, and again, if you're doing pedestrian crossings for the first time, you've done a fair bit of driving, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
So you will have used your signals basically from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go into roll. So we know it's the pedestrian crossings and use of signals. So again, assume that I'm familiar with the make and model of vehicle. I've not had too much practice at home, but occasionally my dad just lets me drive a little bit, but not very far.
Right.
So it's basically the practice that I get with my instructor. And I actually live in the country, so I've not been into town. I think I've been into town once. We just sort of drove through it last week.
Right.
I've not really dealt with pedestrian crossings at all.
Right.
As a driver. Okay. And for the purpose of this, we'll have my name as Lindsay again.
Lindsay again. Right. Okay. Right.
All right. So I'm into roll now and start when you're ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, Lindsay.
Good afternoon.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Val. Is it okay if I call you Lindsay?
It is, yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Good. Excuse me. A cough. I believe your normal instructor is otherwise engaged this afternoon.
Yeah, he didn't tell me why, but
But he's asked me to come along and take your lesson for you. Now, I said that today we'd deal with pedestrian crossings, and also we're going to
signals,
deal
indicator
with signals.
and arm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, do you get a chance to practice much other than your lessons?
Not a lot, but my dad's taken me out in the car a few times because we live in the country, so he lets me drive around the country lanes and stuff. So.
Right, but you've not been anywhere where it's really busy or into town or whatever?
No.
Before? Right, okay. Right, so you'll have dealt with signals. Has your instructor given you a full brief on signals before?
Oh yeah, I've used signals all along. Yeah.
Right, okay. So what I'll do is I'll just ask you a few questions just to make sure in my mind that you know what to do and when to do it, sort of thing.
Right, okay,
so you understand everything. And then I shall feel happier myself then.
Okay then, yeah.
Okay. So thinking of the indicator signals at the moment, okay, so I want you to tell me why you need to signal.
To let people know which way you're going or what you're doing.
Yeah. When you say people, who do you mean?
Could be pedestrians, or it could even be obviously vehicles.
Yeah.
Other vehicles.
Any drivers, pedestrians, yeah. So all the road users, that's right, okay. Could you tell me why it's important that you time the signal correctly?
Yeah, because if your signal's too early or too late, it could be misleading.
It could, couldn't it? Cause confusion. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We'll deal with arm signals as well today.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the arm signals usually give the same message as the indicator signals, but you might need to use them if your indicators don't work or if you want to reinforce one of your indicator signals.
I'm going to say I've never seen anybody use arm signals.
Used very rarely, but however you do still need to know how to do them.
Right.
And also you need to know what they mean if somebody else does use them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll practice doing them, but for this exercise you'll need to wind your window down.
All right.
So before you do it, that's right, good. Then just turn the ignition. That's right. Great. Okay. So if you think about the indicator signals we've got right and left, haven't we? Okay, so we'll deal with those two first.
Right.
If you can just put your right arm out of the window. Okay, so if you were turning right, that is all you would need, is your right arm out of the window, because you're level there with the top of the door, aren't you?
Yeah.
If you were turning left...
I'm sure, because I'd look at these in the highway code yesterday, because I knew I was actually doing this, and I think, is it the palm of the hand that way around?
Yeah, that's right, yeah, you had yours flat, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, so if you turn it that way, that's right, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Okay. If you want to turn left and let somebody know you're turning left, again, you have to put your right arm out of the window, exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like that, isn't it?
It is, but not so high up. If you can just try and keep it level.
About there?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a nice, clear, circular motion.
Right, yeah.
So that tells you the drivers.
I was looking at it in the highway code.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
In that case, you'll have seen that there's also a slowing down signal as well. Now then, thinking about what you saw in the highway code, can you remember how that should be done?
Slowing down is like that.
That's right, and that time you've got your palm facing down, haven't you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one other signal that you might need to use, not necessarily for other road users, but for like a traffic warden or a policeman or someone that's controlling traffic. If you want to tell him that you're going straight ahead,
right,
so you might not see your indicator signals, and that would be to put your left hand up in the middle.
Like that.
Being careful not to hide it behind your mirror, otherwise the policeman in front wouldn't see it. That's right.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So those are the arm signals that we may be able to use as we're going along. So if you want to wind your window back up now so that we don't get too cold. That's it. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to ask me about signals before we move on?
No, I think I'm okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Right, so we'll deal with pedestrian crossings now. Okay. I've got various different types of pedestrian crossings, but as the name suggests, it's where pedestrians can cross the road more safely than they would be able to if there wasn't a crossing there. Yeah. We have, first of all,
I'm just going to come out of the road for a second, Val. You've gone back into lecturing a little bit, haven't you? With the arm signals you were telling me, and I did say to you twice I've been looking in the highway code.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Right. Bear in mind we're trying to save a bit of time. So ask me. All right. Get me to demonstrate rather than explain to me what it is. If I don't know what it is, fine.
Yeah.
You can actually tell me. All right.
Yeah.
Again, with the signals, make sure that you cover why we need them, when we use them. All right. Correct signals, and get me to give you some examples of them.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've skirted over it. You've not really covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And with this, we've all used pedestrian crossings, haven't we?
Well, yeah.
We've all used pedestrians, haven't we?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, instead of telling me how I'd identify it and what we're coming up to, why don't you ask me?
Just say what sort of crossing is that?
Yeah. How do I know that how do you know that you're coming up to say a zebra crossing? What signs would you see? I mean, they're there, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
What procedure would you use? Because it's a hazard, isn't it?
Yeah. So you would know that as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of this I have actually covered either as a pedestrian or I've covered it as a driver actually approaching different hazards. What you've then got to check is that I know what the zigzag lines mean. I know when to stop.
So that's the new bits, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you can still ask me, can't you?
Mm.
Yeah, and you know, if there's a vehicle that's stopped here in a queue of traffic, where would you stop? So if I said, well, I'd stop behind the other vehicle, then I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on this one, you can just use a Q&A, because it's the same procedure for a Pelican as what it is for a zebra. Isn't it? The difference being
it's the lights.
The lights.
Instead.
So you can just excuse me. You can just ask me about the sequence of the lights.
Right. So you can get through this reasonably quickly then.
Yeah, because it's a, if you like, it's a double barrel brief, isn't it? You've got the signals and then you've got that.
Yeah.
So if you use a Q&A properly, you can get away with it quite well.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Back into roll.
Okay. Right then, Lindsay, so we're going to deal with pedestrian crossings now.
Okay.
I'm sure you've crossed the road yourself as a pedestrian, haven't you, there? And used these different types of crossing. So looking at these diagrams, what sort of crossing is this one?
That's a zebra crossing.
That's a zebra crossing, that's right, yeah. How would you know, as a motorist, that you were actually approaching a zebra crossing, do you think?
We sometimes get that sign, the pedestrian crossing sign.
This one, that's right, yeah.
And I'm not sure what they call these, but that light flashes on
yeah, that's the Belisha beacon.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
I can
right.
never remember that.
No, it's an unusual name. Yeah, so you've got those two to be looking out for as well, haven't you? You might also see the white zigzag lines.
Right.
Wouldn't tell you it was a zebra, but it would tell you it was a pedestrian crossing that you were coming up to.
Yeah.
Okay. Any idea what those zigzag lines mean?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to overtake, and I'm not supposed to park on them.
That's right, yeah. So you don't overtake and you don't park. Any reason why you shouldn't overtake?
Well, yeah, because if you overtake, you know, on the zigzag lines, it could actually be somebody actually walking across the crossing.
And you wouldn't see them, would you? Okay, same reason why you shouldn't park, because if you're parked there,
somebody's got to overtake
somebody's to overtake it. So again, it's an overtaking. That pedestrian starts walking because they can't see you either, because the car blocks their view, and you meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so that's why we don't do that. Okay, that's good. Okay. As you approach this crossing, it's a hazard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what would you be doing as you approached it?
What, you mean the routine?
That's right, yeah.
The MSM routine.
That's right.
Approach.
Yeah, you're going to use your hazard drill. Like we say, it is a hazard. So you're going to be checking your mirrors and what have you. Something else though that you should be looking out for. Bearing in mind what it is. That's right, yeah. So you're looking out for pedestrians. Okay. If somebody had started to cross and put their foot on the crossing, what do you think you should do?
I've got to stop.
You do, yeah. You have to stop and let them walk across, haven't you? And when you have stopped, and you stop behind that dotted line, okay, this picture here says, no, don't do that. You mustn't wave the pedestrians across. Just because you've stopped, don't wave them.
So don't stop behind the white line?
No, you stop just behind that dotted white line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't wave the pedestrians to cross on the crossing. I'm sorry, was my wording not quite clear?
I thought you meant once you've stopped behind the white line, don't stop there. And so I stopped behind the white line.
That's right.
Yeah.
But don't wave the pedestrians across.
Well, my dad does all the time.
You mustn't do that because, well, can you think why not? It can be dangerous.
I suppose if you wave them on and somebody else is coming down the other way, they might not see them.
That's right. Yeah, they might not even stop.
Right.
You're
I'll
waving
that then later.
Yeah, you're waving that pedestrian into danger.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's say we have a queue of traffic. All right, at the other side of the crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. You're coming up here. There's no pedestrians around. Okay, so just ignore those people there. But you're going to have to wait in this queue of traffic.
Right.
Whereabouts would you stop? Whereabouts would you wait?
Where you would normally wait, about there on the white line.
That's right, good. So always keep the crossings clear in queues of traffic. Right, all done. That was good. Right, so now we'll deal with the other type of crossing that you've probably used as a pedestrian, which is the Pelican crossing. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the difference between a Pelican crossing and a zebra crossing then?
A Pelican crossing is controlled by traffic lights.
That's right, it is. What sequence are the lights at the Pelican crossing?
Red, red, amber, green, amber, red.
Okay, so that's not quite right for the Pelican crossing. That's correct for the traffic lights. They are slightly different.
Oh, sorry, yeah. There's a flashing amber light, isn't
That's
it?
right, there's a flashing amber light.
Red, flashing amber, green.
And the same as traffic lights to go
Amber
back.
red.
That's right, yeah, yeah. So the flashing amber is the difference.
Right.
So what does the flashing amber mean?
That as a driver, I shouldn't start going, or I shouldn't go if there's somebody already crossing.
That's right. It means that you shouldn't move away if there's somebody on the crossing.
Yeah.
Does it mean if there is nobody on the crossing that you can go?
If there's nobody on the crossing and there's nobody starting to cross, I can still go.
That's right. Yeah, that's great. Because what the pedestrian sees is the flashing green man, which to the pedestrian means not to start crossing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And again, we have the zigzags, which you know what that means. But how would you recognise that it was a Pelican crossing?
Well, you'd be able to see the traffic lights.
You would. You'd be able to see the traffic lights. Is there anything else that you might be able to look out for?
Apart from the zigzag lines, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. You see the poles that the traffic lights are on, they've got yellow boxes on that the pedestrians press the button.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't they? So you can keep your eye out for those, and there might be a road sign as well. Okay. Right. So that's those two, but we do have little variations on them. We sometimes get like a dual carriageway where you get a zebra crossing going all the way across. Yeah. And it has a central island in the middle. Yeah. Now then, have you read the highway code about crossings?
That would be treated. That would be treated as 2.
That's right. Yeah. 2, because we've got the bit in the middle where they can actually stand and wait and check again. Yeah, that's right. And then here again, we've got a Pelican crossing, which is staggered.
That's treated as 2 as well.
That's treated as 2, whereas the one here, although it's got an island in the middle, is 1. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be staggered to make it 2. That, okay. And then we'll just have a quick look at the other different types of crossings that we get. So on the other side, that's right, here we are. These 2 here, very similar to the Pelican one, so we get the toucan and the puffin. Okay. Okay, so you've been reading about them. Could you tell me what the sequence of lights is at the toucan crossing?
I think they're the same as traffic lights.
They are the same as traffic lights. Yeah, exactly the same. What makes the toucan crossing different to the Pelican apart from the lights?
Toucan cross.
That's great. Yeah, good. Yeah, toucan cross.
So like pedestrians and cyclists can actually ride across as pedestrians walk across.
That's right. Whereas normally cyclists have to dismount at other crossings. Totally. That's good. What about the puffin crossing?
That's one that's got sensors on.
It has,
so if somebody presses the button and and walk away, the lights don't change for the driver.
That's right.
I think.
Yeah. That senses whenever there's somebody in that vicinity, so the lights stay at red till there's nobody around. That's great. Excellent. So you know about those. And then we have the traffic light control crossing, where we have a junction with traffic lights, but there is a crossing incorporated into it. Okay, so we'll watch out for those as we're driving along. Yeah. But the other 2 we don't have in this area. Right. However, you may come across them in different areas.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so what we'll do then, now you know all about it, we'll go out and have a look at some of these crossings and show you how to deal with it.
Fine.
All right.
Okay, out of roll just for a second. That's much better. All right, a little bit more organised there. Once you got using the Q&A, it flowed, didn't it? Rather than trying to lecture me all over again. So you can see, how proper use of question and answer can really make a brief, a good brief. Yeah. And it's the best way you're going to find out as to what this person who's driving knows. Are they knowledgeable?
Yeah, which you were, because you'd read the highway code.
Yeah. So I'd have got bored if you'd have just lectured me.
Yeah, yeah.
If I hadn't done any reading, you still ask the question, I don't know it, so you can tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Yeah. Good, well done. Right, back into roll and start when you're ready. And then get me to turn right out of here.
Okay. Okay then, Lindsay, before we set off, if you can go through your normal checks and your cockpit drill.
Jimmy doors, it's okay. My seat's okay. Maybe I need to alter it a little bit. Yep. Yep, they're all okay. As fine, I think.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Handbrake.
Right.
Neutral.
Okay, so we're going to move away from here, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Have you ever moved from this position before?
Yeah, I normally get picked up from here.
Right,
Yeah.
that's okay. Then you'll know how to deal with this
Yeah.
this junction. Okay, so I'd like you to turn right to turn down the main road here, please. It's not an easy junction to deal with this, is it, with it being so wide?
I'd have to be signalling, shouldn't I?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, you did really well there. A lot of pedestrians here, Lindsay, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, I want you to be ready. And this one here is on the road, not on the footpath. So, good, you've given him a bit of room, although he's got back on again.
Yeah.
Well done.
End of the road, give me a turn left.
So, at the end of the road, turn left, please. Good. Don't forget your signal.
Oh, yeah.
So, make sure the car stops. Good.
I'll get to the end of the road, give me a turn right.
At the end of the road, I'd like you to turn right, please, Lindsay. What's the speed limit on the road you're turning into?
20.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. Okay. Into first gear. That's it. So you won't have dealt with all this traffic before when you're living
no,
in
I
the
haven't.
country, will
No.
you? Okay. So we need to have a look and make sure we've got a gap on each side that you can safely move away into. But notice if you look to the right, can you see we have a crossing there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you've got to bear that in mind as you come across.
Yeah.
As you turn into the road.
I don't know where all these have come from.
There's lots of them, isn't there? All wanting to turn into our road as well. All we can do is be patient and keep looking and keep
Okay.
watching, yeah? And waiting. I'm trying to judge when there'll be a space for you to move into.
After this white one? Oh, no.
No, there's a bus coming.
Oh, that
No.
bus was signalling left, I'm sure of it. Oh, maybe I was seeing things.
I think you were seeing things.
Well,
There could have been the sun shining on it, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good job I didn't just
Good
take
job you
it for
looked again, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Now he's signalling, but is he going to turn? Oh yes, he is. Didn't turn till the
Right,
last minute,
no.
did he?
Bit confusing.
It is. Okay, now let's have a look and see if you can think of when you might be able to go. Don't set off till the one in front of you is gone. Wait a minute. Okay.
After these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a gap on both sides. That's it. Well done. So you were nice and good and patient there. No point rushing.
Get me to take the next left.
And then we'll take the next road on the left, please. Oops. Don't forget your signal.
Oh, well, there was nobody around, so I didn't think...
We usually signal at junctions,
we do,
don't we?
yeah.
So that if there's anything comes
Yeah.
along. Yeah.
I'm thinking signal when it's necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that necessary to signal there?
What's the
Make
car
sure you
behind
cancel
me?
it. It's quite a way off, isn't it? You're not
Yeah.
going to bother him if you pull out without signalling, so perhaps it wasn't quite necessary. Okay, just cancel that again, because otherwise it looks like you're turning down.
Oh, sorry,
Down
yeah.
there,
I
doesn't
just
it?
saw the parked cars, I didn't see that road.
So don't
yet.
signal automatically. Think about
Right,
who is there that's going to benefit from it.
yeah.
Now, if you look well ahead, you'll see we've got traffic lights. Don't
Yeah.
forget to deal with this first. Parked cars
No
first.
need to signal.
No,
because there's
that's
nobody
right.
around,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to be turning right at the top.
Okay, so at the traffic lights I want you to turn right. Now remember, we can have pedestrian crossings that are incorporated into traffic lights, so we need to be watching out for those.
Right.
I'm having a look.
That woman's just walking from behind.
She is. I don't know whether you could see the road marking in front of this blue van or not. I'll think about why he's...
Actually,
no?
No.
As he moves off, I want you to just look for the road marking that there is on the road here.
Look for the road marking?
Yeah, look at the road markings. It might not be appropriate, but we have a yellow box junction here, so if we've got a queue of traffic, you would have to leave that clear, wouldn't you? Remember, turning right, so yeah, don't forget your signal. That's it.
Yeah.
Good.
Then get me to turn left.
Okay, and then we're going to turn left at the traffic lights. Now here we have a filter light on the arrow, which means if we're turning left we can go. And now the main lights come on means we can still go because all traffic can go when that comes on. Good.
I want you, just out of roll, Val, I want you to remember the first set of lights that we just turned right at. When we stop, I want to have a chat to you about it.
Alright.
Back in roll, get me to take the next left.
Okay, take the next road on the left, please, Lindsay. It looks like we've got a queue of traffic in this road here, doesn't it?
Was my signal okay?
Yeah?
Yeah. Wasn't too early or anything?
No, it didn't seem to be.
Oh.
No, that seemed alright. Good. Now then, you see the triangular road sign ahead of us?
Yeah, traffic lights.
Okay, traffic lights. Could be a crossing as well.
Right.
So let's have a look. Yeah. Is there anything that tells us it is a crossing?
Yeah, I can see that yellow box down the side, yeah.
Using checking your mirrors then as you approach. Yeah. That's it. But there's no pedestrians there, were there? So we didn't need to stop. And it also didn't change to red either.
End of the road, get me to turn right.
Okay, at the end of the road, turn right. This bus might need to take a lot of room to get round here, so just hold back a little bit.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
They take a lot more room, don't they?
They do, don't they? They can't just get round in the same space that the cars can.
I think that taxi there, his driver's door's not shut properly, so...
How can you tell that?
Because I can see it's not flush.
Oh, right, yeah. So he hasn't checked his doors.
Shouldn't I?
Yeah.
So I'd have to sort of be careful in case his door flung out.
Yeah, you would, that's right.
Yeah. Well, now then, do I go into it?
No, just stay behind the giveaway lines at the moment because we've got to give way to the traffic on the road, haven't we? That box that is there mainly for the traffic coming down so they don't block it off.
So it's not like
for
a
you
proper
to
box
turn.
junction?
No, but it must be kept clear. That's good. Well done. Okay, right, more lights. Is this a Pelican crossing?
Yes.
It's changed. Check your mirror, make sure it's safe to stop. That's it, and we're going to keep behind that white line so you're not going over it.
Oh, right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then put the handbrake on so that you're secure.
Yeah.
And then you can put it into first gear. Let's have a look and see if you can tell when it's going to change. See how the red man came on? You can see that from here.
Yeah. Oh, it hasn't got a flashing light.
It hasn't, has it?
So is that
there's nobody else crossing. So in which case that means that's a traffic light control crossing rather than a Pelican crossing.
Right.
But we couldn't tell the difference there until it went back from the red down to the green.
Yeah. It's a bit nerve-wracking coming round town.
There's a lot to look out for, isn't there? And a lot to be thinking about, but you're doing really well.
So, just round this bend if you get me to turn right.
Okay. As you go around just as you get around this bend, Lindsay, we're going to turn right at the major road. That signal's a little bit early, if you can just cancel it. Right, that's it. Now, we usually have traffic lights here, but at the moment they're out of order. Okay, so we're going to treat this as a give way, like a T-junction.
Okay.
Okay.
So whereabouts should I sort of hold
You've got
back
to try and
about here.
judge, that's right, you've got to try and judge where the giveaway lines would be. You can't stop behind the line that's for the lights because it's too far back. Right. Don't go too far forward, otherwise you're going to block the junction.
About here.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
Is that alright?
Good.
Oh, okay, that one nerve-wracking.
Yeah, well done, you did really well.
Get me to take the next road on the left and then the first road on the left.
Okay, if you can take the next road on the left, please, Lindsay, and then the first road on the left as well. Good. Second. That's it. And then immediately left again. See how they're very close together. Good. Check your mirrors. Well done.
And if you can get me to turn right and then just pull up near the offices.
Okay. If you can take the next turning on the right, please, Lindsay, and we'll pull up in the car park near the office. Well done.
Okay, out of roll. Right, that's just one circuit. Alright, now we're actually going to go around and do that circuit a few more times.
Right, yeah.
The reason I brought you back basically is because on that route there's nowhere to pull you up to chat to you about
it's
it.
all double
and I mean you were doing very well, so there's just a few things I want to jog your memory about. The first set of traffic lights that we came to, I can remember, I want you to remember.
Right.
Yeah, I said I want you to remember it. We had a queue of traffic.
That was going the other way.
Well,
our queue of
traffic. Yeah. We had the box junction, which you quite rightly mentioned, and then the traffic that wanted to turn right were queuing. And you'd said to me about the zebra crossing where to stop if we had a queue of traffic, but no mention of a Pelican crossing.
Right, yeah. I just assumed you'd realise it would be.
Yeah.
You don't block the crossing off.
Which I actually stopped on the.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So overall, that was a very good lesson. But there's just a few little things there that you need to be thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Prompting, you started doing that very well. You dealt with the traffic lights that were out of order very well. Okay, because that's not an easy one. And I think what you did, you just went onto automatic pilot and you went through it as if you were driving.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go back round and let's, have another look at it.
Right.
Yeah. Looking, I did signal early a few times and I did leave it late a few times. So remember, keep an eye on them signals again. So let's go back out and let's have another look at it.
Okay. Yeah.
All right?